I would say that this tour differs in the sense that because of the war that's going on at the moment, people are definitely a bit freaked to come out, I think. You know, in New York, people were saying that people weren't travelling so far from, you know, the outer-lying districts. They were only coming from Manhattan more so, you know, because people were afraid to travel to Manhattan and things like that. And that's quite, I think that's quite common throughout. I mean, the thing is, everyone that's been coming to the gigs, it's been fantastic. Everyone's enjoyed it. And it's been sort of 2/3 full most of the time instead of full, which is what we're used to. I mean, we've spoken to other tour managers for other people on other tours, and it's quite common at the minute that you know, people are a bit understandably a bit freaked out by you know what happened on September the 11th, and it's definitely sort of slowing business down. But then the people that come seem to be really pleased and have a real release, and they're like, God, I'm so glad. You know,
good
that you came, and it's I'm so glad that, you know, I've let my hair down for, you know, things like that. I couldn't pick a best gig out of the tour, really. It's like, you know, they're all different for different reasons. It's not, you know, I don't know, you can't really pick a best gig. I mean, that's sort of, anyway, even if you did have a favourite one, that would be awful. Because you'd be saying, I like people from this town and not from that one, you know. So,
but there's nothing like crowd reaction that you think, oh, the crowd were like well over the top or surprisingly good compared to like last time or something like that.
No, it's not. Again, it's not the sort of thing it's not the sort of thing I'd say really, because it's not fair. It's not fair on the other people. You should have tried harder. 6 dates in the UK, 6, isn't it? 6, yeah. Brighton, Southampton, Brighton, Portsmouth, not Southampton, Exeter, Birmingham, and 2 Brixtons.
2 Brixtons.
Yeah.
And then what will you do after you've finished that? Are you planning any more one-off dates, tours? Or?
No more gigs or anything planned after that. No. We'll see. It might, you know, I think it'll be the end, but who knows? Things always come up. You never know. Well, it's unknown really what's going to happen to it. I mean, we've finished a single of Illuminate. We've had mixes done. It's all ready to go. I would say it all happened too late in the day for, you know, our record company. We didn't really want to release it around the Christmas time. You know, that old chestnut again. So I would say, you know, as we've now sort of finished our term with London Records, you know, we've done our sort of 6 albums with them. They'll you know, inevitably do like a best of. I would say that's normally what happens at the end of a record deal. And I would say they'll probably want to use it now as the sort of the lead track of a best of. You know, the something special that doesn't exist. You know, which is what they always want for the best of. That's my thinking on it. That's what I think will probably happen. So that will probably happen now, sometime next spring or something like that.
Right. And do you think they'll actually, when they do the best of, do you think they'll concentrate on studio material, or will they incorporate?
I think the best of will probably compile that. I'd like to do it with them. Do you know what I mean? You know, I mean, I'm open to you know, to their suggestions. They say, oh, can we put this one on or whatever? But I think it's pretty obvious. You know, what I would like to do, something I've tried, is putting together all the 7-inch edits that we ever made.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them didn't get heard. You know, a lot of them were only ever on vinyl, once the actual 7 inches. All the sort of radio edit versions, I've actually sort of compiled them together before, and it's really quite nice because it's something you've never actually heard all together in one go, because it's quite odd for Orbital to have all these like 3.5-minute versions of things. So it actually makes it quite an interesting record, and I calculated it all together. I put all our singles down that we've got like that, and any ones that were never edited anyway. Yeah. And I had a couple of extras, I think, and it all fit on one CD, so that's good.
Now about your next studio album, have you started any ideas? That's way. Yeah. So nothing actually planned.
No, I started writing music already. Anyway, we've got a couple of titanium laptops, which has been sort of massive musical expansion, the ability to sort of, but a few years, until recently, until the last sort of tour, whenever we went on tour, we could never write music at home. Because we had all the bones of our studio on tour. It's only recently we've actually managed to have enough equipment to take what we want on tour and still have a couple of little writing setups at home, which has been liberating to be able to do that. But now, with the sort of advent of all the soft synths and the computers, especially laptops that are powerful enough to deal with that, I've been sort of noodling around and writing stuff on all this weird and wonderful new soft synths. So it's great fun for me. And you've got things like Battery, which is like a really pokey drum machine. And I'm still sort of ploughing through their preset drum sounds and having a fantastic time. I haven't even sampled my own drums yet. I think all the soft synths have been influential. All the sort of native instrument stuff like Reactor, Absynth, Battery. They're the things that I've been really playing with. And things like the Waldorf PPG Wave and things like that. They're TC Electronics Mercury 1. They're all great synths, and they're all in the laptop. It's great fun. Again, it's something different. Again, it's we've had like analog synths, we had digital synths, we had virtual analog synths. Now we've got sort of virtual synths. It's, each thing has its own attribute. I don't say, but pure analog's best. There's none of that for me.
So it's a
different thing. It's a different thing. It's not pure analog synth. It's a different thing.
Yeah. It turned out really well. It turned out, like sort of 100 times better. Especially the visual side of it. I mean, the sound of it was really good. But the visual side of it, was so overwhelmed by the people that wanted to get involved. It was just really reassuring, actually, because there wasn't much of a budget.
But there's a tiny budget for it. I think what people did was amazing. They really excelled themselves,
So it was really, better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out in America yet, and we're sort of trying to work out how to do that.
Hopefully it will come out domestically in America.
There is.
There's hope.
Trying.
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
I mean, we're trying to get released basically with a really good company, but that's just being spoken about now. Yeah, I do.
I like Alltecker. I haven't heard the new album yet, and I hear it's quite sort of harsh, but it takes a bit of time to get into, and certainly the last couple of gigs I've seen them do. The first one out of the last two, they were really mellow, really sort of floaty, very experimental and unusual, and I really enjoyed it. I found it sort of almost sort of like dreamscape stuff, in a darkened room. And the last time I saw them, they were a bit too harsh for me. It was quite a lot of clicking bass drum sort of madness, But that's the thing with Alltecker, you don't know what you're going to get because every gig is an experiment for them as much as it is for they're experimenting on the audience. But Balls of Canada I like. The last thing I had of theirs was that little 4-track EP.
Right. The one in the country one.
Yeah, there was a lovely little track on that one, a little spangly, I forget the name, a spangly little
I know which one you mean.
Aphex Twin, still haven't heard his new album, still waiting to hear that.
Right. Do you like his old stuff then?
Oh yeah, I like Richard. So some of it I go, my god, and some of it I just love it, But the first thing I ever heard was Analog Bubble Bath, and I just loved that. That was fantastic. And
so you're just waiting to hear?
I'm waiting to hear what he's got up to. Okay. The old further.
Said it that bit.
Then I'll take it out. Leave it here. Fuck.
Okay.
Oh no, you better. No,
I'll edit it out. I'll edit it.
I'll fucking tank through the side of the house on the submarine coming up to the pond.
They like it.
Yeah. No, leave it in.
He'd probably get off on that.
Pervert.
Right.
No, leave it in. The amount of times I've met him, he said, oh, right, you're back.
Oh, right.
Fuck him. What am I thinking? Offended? No.
Want to mention on the website? I have actually wrote that down as well.
I'd like to say it has been good having you come around, actually. It has been good, no, but it has been good because it's, a lot of it, it's particularly for the American audience as well, you know, but to do with the website, you know, because it's you know, it's nice to meet up with some of the people that you you know that get connected with the internet. Do you know what I mean? And you know, obviously after having our British tour, there's a lot of English, and it's a lot easier UK, Europe to meet up. It's just nice, and it's been good having you on board. I think this first sort of section to you know, just to sort of make the Americans feel a bit more part of it now. Do you know what I mean? Which is great.
Yeah, there's, I mean, good
it.
reaction.
Yeah,
good reaction, and some nice people out there as well.
Yeah.
Paul, anything you'd like to?
I'd like
Some
to
nice people.
Is there anything that you'd like to be asked that you've never been asked?
Anything I'd like to be asked? Yeah, do you want this £1 million? That's something I wouldn't mind being asked.
To do with your music or to do with...
No, right. No, I can't think of anything I'd like to be asked to do with
That's a good sign.
my music. No. I think some of people's speculations are absolutely crazy. When I've read through the forums. Yeah, in the forums, some people's speculations about why things are done and what certain Alison Goldfrapp lyrics are when there weren't any anyway and things like that. That's quite fun.
Some people get a bit overexcited and a bit too enthusiastic, don't they? Yeah, some people have been sort of liberal with, just got very overexcited and keen, really, a bit too keen on some cases. But you know,
apart from that.
Yeah, apart from that.
It's all okay. Okay, thanks guys for doing that.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much.